All right, guys, it's been forever and a day since I've had a Punch cigar, at least to the best of my memory, which means I probably could have had one last week and just forgot about it. But I do believe it's been quite a while. I am definitely looking forward to tonight's cigar, and that cigar is the Punch's Rare Corojo. Stick around, guys. Review's coming up. If you're new to this channel, enjoy cigar reviews and cigar-related artwork, consider clicking that subscribe button. All right, guys, I'm definitely looking forward to this stick. I got it out of the Black Lion Luxury Cigar of the Month Club. I believe it was this month, which is March, but I could be wrong about that. It's either this month or last month. Really looking forward to this one. It is definitely a very beautiful looking stick. Now, the first thing that stands out about this cigar is the color of that wrapper. This cigar consists of an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. That wrapper has a really nice, kind of a rustic brown color to it. It's kind of like this dark rustic brown color, though. It does have a light oil sheen, very few imperfections on it. It is definitely a beautiful wrapper. The cigar also consists of a Connecticut broadleaf binder, and the fillers come from Honduras, Nicaragua, and the Dominican Republic. And it has that traditional fire engine red punch band on it. It's a beautiful band. It has that very vibrant red color, has some gold mixed in with it. It really pops on that dark wrapper, and overall this is definitely a gorgeous stick, one I cannot wait to smoke. So on that note, guys, let's go ahead and cut this one up, light it up, and see how good it really is. Wow. Yeah, that retrohale definitely blows out your sinuses. It's a very sharp spice, and I can still feel it now, actually. It feels like it's just pounding against my sinuses, but it's good flavor, though. I mean, it definitely tastes good. It's just, man, it just feels like I just completely blown out everything that's in there. As far as the draw goes, really not much there. It's just more like a leathery tobacco. There's an interesting taste as my tongue hits my lips, though, and that's just from the wrapper. Not a whole lot going on yet, just kind of like a nice leathery tobacco in the draw and that super intense retrohale. Definitely looking forward to see how this one's going to progress, so I'll keep working on it, come back with my wrap up on the first third shortly. Now, I've been on a streak lately where I've had some pretty great tasting cigars, and for the majority of the first third, I'd have to say that that streak is really continuing. The flavors in this, at least for the first half of that first third, are pretty amazing, and I took some notes because there is just a lot going on right here. The main flavor that I got, at least through a good chunk of that first third, there was these aged tobacco notes. As you drew into the smoke, you did pick up like these leathery tobaccos and these other flavors. However, there's always this aged tobacco aftertaste. Probably one of the most impressive flavors I'm getting so far out of this stick. But that's not the only flavor that I got. I also got like a light cocoa in there. At times I got a light woodsiness. And here at the tail end of the first third, everything shifted to more of a dark earth. It's not so overwhelming at this stage where it's taking me out of the smoke, but it's definitely one of those flavors that if it keeps amping up or if it keeps escalating as I progress through the stick, it's going to be a little bit too much. As of right now, definitely a very enjoyable flavor in that draw. My retrohale, which started out as a very sharp spice, that's quickly died down. Right now, my retrohale's smooth as butter. I don't have anything that bites my sinuses, but the spice shifted in stages. It started out as an extremely sharp spice, and then as I progressed through each retrohale, what happened is that that spice seemed to dial back a little bit. It still had a bite to it, and what I started picking up was the sweet notes in there, and here at the tail end, it's just more of like a smooth tobacco flavor in it, but yeah, good flavors with this one. Definitely impressed with it. The flavors in the first half of the first third were by far my favorite so far, but we still got 2/3 to go. So I'm really looking forward to see how they're going to transition as I progress through the next couple sections of this stick. Now, as far as my construction goes, I did have a couple of issues. One is that the burn's very wonky. I do have a very messy ash as well. The smoke output did drop off at one point. I had to relight the cigar, but outside of that, I do get a perfect draw. The smoke output's pretty good right now. Definitely enjoying this stick. Really looking forward to see how it's going to progress. So I'll keep working on it. Come back with my thoughts on the second third shortly. All right, so that second third is real easy to sum up. It's nothing but earth and spice. Now, the earthy notes in the draw, they're not that dark and heavy earth notes that I was picking up in the first third, or at least the second half of the first third. However, it is definitely a very earthy tasting cigar. If you don't care for earth, I think it's going to take you back some. And for those of you that do really enjoy earthy tasting sticks, I mean, this is going to be right up your alley. But for me, it's just a little bit too much. I miss those cocoa notes. I miss some of those aged tobacco notes. Right now, it's just pretty much just straight up earth. The spice in that retrohale, it just kind of started amping up towards the end of the second third. For the most part, it was a very smooth retrohale, just like it was at the end of the first third. At times, it's got a sweet note that follows, but here at the tail end, I just got a little bit of a sharp spice. Overall, they're decent flavors. It's nothing that's really blowing me away, but it is an okay tasting stick. The construction on the stick, it's about the same. I do get a wonky burn still. I get a very ugly ash. The smoke output did drop off once, but the draw has been perfect. No changes really with construction, it's just the flavors for me that kind of took a step back. Hopefully in that final third things will turn around and I can start pulling a little more complexity and pulling some additional flavors other than earth. So I'll keep working on it, guys, and I'll come back with my final update shortly. This ended up being a nice long smoke. I didn't time it, but I've been out here for quite a while, and I have to say, overall, it ended up being a pretty decent cigar. Now, the flavors in that final third definitely improved over the previous section. The earthy notes, they're still present, however, they've really calmed down quite a bit. They're not as bold as they were before. I do get like a nice tobacco taste in there as well. And that retrohale is shifted to just a peppery spice. So I do get a very distinct black pepper taste in that retrohale. Overall, a much improved flavors. However, they're nothing like what I experienced in that first half of the first third. To me, those were just outstanding flavors. This one didn't quite live up to that level. But yeah, overall, decent tasting cigar. I end up rating this one an 85 out of 100. And this cigar goes for $9.30. I think it's worth that price. It is a long smoke. It is one that if I was just kicking back on the patio, I'd have something else other than a water to drink with. And I think that would help mellow out or balance out those earthy notes. Overall, decent smoke, one I do recommend. So for those of you out there that have had this cigar before, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next review.